Hi guys, thank you for joining me. I'm Ruby and welcome to the Virgo full moon taking place on the 9th of March, 5:57 UK time, 9:47 US time. This full moon is so influential. It is a time we are really getting to know the truth of ourselves. It is a time where a lot of introspection is taking place. This is a full moon of retreat and solitude. With this full moon comes a lot of answers that we may have had about ourselves. The energy really is to channel into being in the silence, the stillness, the quietness of the moment, where we can channel into our energy and really come out with and see where it is that this next cycle, this next zodiac cycle is leading us. What an exciting time. This very analytical sign of Virgo may find you questioning a lot of pre-existing ideas that we'd set up. Fear. This, unfortunately, is a time where a lot of fear-mongering has been going on. This full moon illuminates a lot of truths. It's about being very honest with yourself, very analytical, and almost to the point where it gets critical. It's in that one can categorize what the matter at hand is and sort it, put it away, nice, neat, clean, boxed, categorized, perfect Virgo manner. This is a very practical full moon. The energy of this full moon, I think you will find, is about being devoted to the task at hand. Saving energy for creativity. For Virgo, this is very 6th house energy. That's a service, day-to-day routines. What it is that we can do in this worldly plane. Virgo is a great manifester. And with that energy, I think a lot of it is fueled by Virgo's desire to find solutions to problems and execute. That is the whole Mercury in Virgo. Now, with Mercury going direct again on the 10th of March, this is very much about being quite honest, being true to our promise, being fulfilling our responsibilities, public service, being what we can be, the best of what we can be, helping thy neighbor, and thus helping ourselves. There's very much this martyr energy to this full moon. Virgo is the star of the Hermit indeed. It is also the maiden energy. So there's a lot of drawing in this star quality, this star energy. And this full moon, I think, helps us think about being somebody, the expression, true expression of ourselves, the authentic expression of ourselves. Not forced emotions, really not forced emotions, things that are clear and focused. Virgo energy is very childlike almost, but it's one that's tied very heavily in the facts and the truths, in the authentic honesty. And that's funny because Virgos spend a lot of time in a lot of mental clutter in their minds. And I think this full moon, there is going to be this quite nervous, anxious, overly analytical energy. But it is in Pisces season that one learns to go with the flow. It is the acceptance that things are outside of ourselves. And the wisdom in it is to overcome the control, which I think can become quite structured. And for mutable sign like Virgo, structure is not one where you can find, I think, the message that you're looking for. A lot of Virgos, I think, need to march to the beat of their own drum, really. I think that's a great way to describe Virgos. So there's no comparison, really, Virgos. And I think if we've been faced with fears and paranoids in this Mercury retrograde season, a lot of overcoming that kind of stuff is going to help you create a picture of yourself in which, you know, your expression of who you are, your abilities and your talents illuminates. And this is a time not to hide. It is a time to shine. It is a time to be devoted in the practicality of what it is that you love doing. The solitude, that's what the solitude's needed for. Destiny. This is a malleable time. I think time is definitely illusion right now. However, destiny is at play. The energy of this full moon, the energy of this full Virgo full moon, I think parts of your destiny, parts of where you're supposed to go, parts of where you're now supposed to be on your next path, or on the path from where you're at right now, this is the energy of it. This is destiny. This is what we're here to do. Affirm and thank yourself at every step, Virgo, because it seems as if decisions, choices that you've been making, things that you weren't sure about, things that you may have doubted about yourself, things where you felt like you weren't working hard enough, all seem to come about right now. Keep your energy as high vibing as you can. Destiny as at play. You only want to attract what is good. Avoid getting into anything, any low vibrational behaviors at the moment. Remember I said Virgo, ears and eyes. Keep your wits about you. Destiny, good energy, right? We're on this journey. Here we are. This practical full moon, what we do is what we see. So, if we're trying to manifest and bring things into our present this full moon, there's going to have to be a lot of visual things to it. There's going to be a lot of things that we're going to have to do this full moon, like vision boards, writing yourself checks, writing letters to yourself, doing forgiveness meditations or forgiveness practices, cutting cords, releasing ties, moving forward, really being able to get quite honest. This is definitely a time to shine and not hide. So any fears that we might have had that have been holding us back, any, problems that need dealing with, this is a time of finding those solutions and executing, categorizing it, putting it away, because there's so much more to do. There's future to be built, and there's a bridge that needs to be built from where you're at right now to where your destiny is leading you. And Virgo is definitely one of those signs of beautification. The senses, it's a sensual sign, making the things around you beautiful, making yourself beautiful. Mercury has now gone out of retrograde. This is the time to get the haircut, all that kind of stuff. Partners and alliances. Partnerships and alliances. Looks like there are bonds, deepening of bonds, allies, partnerships being created, networking that needs to take place this full moon alongside the solitude. Virgo is definitely a sign of service and good counsel. Hermit is definitely one that people seek for advice. It is one that bears information. It is one that, is somebody. The focus this full moon needs to perhaps be on being somebody, being the best of you, your talents, your abilities, and really being able to focus and organize, get quite clean with your intentions. Clear quartz, I think, is quite an important crystal to have at hand for this full moon. Virgo is very much success oriented. Public success, victory and success. This full moon brings with it joy, of success, of a job well done, of victory, of celebrating, of having a risk paid off, of finding illumination where you previously would have found darkness. This victory and success card and destiny means that as all of this is quite tightly tied to partnerships and alliances. This is such a movie star time right now. Things are happening like dreams. So please be quite aware to keep your energy clean. Please be quite honest with yourself at this time. Please be very devoted to solving the problems that are at hand, because you'll be building bridges to where it is that you're going now, and it seems as if your destiny is very much leading towards victory and success, and a lot of it is tied into partnerships and alliances. This could be soulmates coming in. This could be like relationships that weren't working, breaking up so that your new destiny can be filled up. This could be, you know, in relationships and business relationships and all sorts of family relationships, etc. Dissipation, sensual enjoyment, enjoying life, getting lighthearted, doing more, I think, to overcome fear. Steps that one might need to take. And I think a lot of that has to do with being discerning. A lot of that has to do with being quite analytically true. Keeping your word. And even like pampering yourself, affirming yourself for a job well done. Mental fitness. Virgo is definitely a sign that seeks fitness. And I think a lot of that fitness needs to go with what happens in the heart and the head too. So it might be a time to check in with that. I've got sacral chakra. This full moon, I would strongly suggest incorporating activities that will open up the flow of the sacral chakra. This full moon working from the root to the sacral to the solar plexus would probably be a really good idea. It would be nice to incorporate some orange vegetables, orange fruits into your diet. It would also be a good idea to meditate with some carnelian, or perhaps put carnelian on, sunstone also. Dissipating, enjoying, taking your time to really just see how far you've come, Virgo, and enjoy, I think, with the others around you, because there's definitely going to be success and victory involving partnerships and alliances. So really making the time, devoting yourself to the enjoyment of what you have at hand right now, the deepening of bonds for sure, opening up channels of positivity by enjoying what's in front of you, what you have, what you've worked for, how far you've come. Amidst the illusion of Neptune opposing this moon, there's a lot that you'll be celebrating. It is definitely a full moon of yields. It's a full moon of discovery, a full moon of prayer, and a full moon of rejecting what no longer serves you, what may have inhabited your creativity, kept your inspiration very boxed up. Personalities, false soulmates, false partners. This is definitely a time of overcoming fear, Virgo, and a lot of that has to do with rejecting the voices in your head that are holding you back. Voices that might be blockages, might be paranoia, might be all sorts of doubts and suspicions that you might have been fed via narcissism, abuse. It's nonsense, really. You've got to even put a strong control on what you allow inside your head. So this might even need to be a total detox, Virgo. Detox your body, detox the people around you. Like I said, so a bit of solitude is probably, for soul searching and reflecting is probably going to be a really good idea. At this time, I would not necessarily allow the opinions of other people in unless it is to praise you. But be mindful, do not let things get to your head, whoever is, I mean, this is turning into a Virgo reading, but this is for everyone watching. Prayer. Definitely a time to get connected to source, okay? Discovery. I think you're going to be in a position this full moon where a lot of things naturally come to you. Things about what is true to your heart and what is authentic and honest to you. You would really, really do yourself justice by doing well, by focusing on being somebody and victory over defeat. You know, don't hide this shine. This inner strength needs to really illuminate. You'll need to be a beacon of light, I feel, this full moon. If you're watching, prayer is going to help deal with all sorts of rejections. I personally think, you know, not all closed doors are bad things. They're just redirections to better things. And with this dissipating card here and with victory and success, I feel as if it would be a really good idea for you to slow all the way down and like just have some funerals this full moon. Funeral of what was, what didn't make it, and what has gone. Who you were, because you're not that person anymore. Moving forward, 2020 is the new cycle. It's a new time. It's a new way of thinking, a new way of being. Virgo, keep wanting to say Virgo. This Virgo full moon is going to really have you in such an honest mood. You're really going to want what you want, know what you want, and not feel ashamed for wanting it. This Virgo full moon is really going to ask you to enjoy and celebrate yourself and thank yourself and affirm yourself every single way, every single step of the way. Victory and success. This full moon is definitely one about bringing about destiny. In the meantime, though, please open up that sacral chakra and be open to partnerships and alliances. I want to take this card. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. What a nice mantra, I think. And look, there is the moon, full moon. No, that's the crescent moon and the full moon. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Looks like there is going to be a lot of trauma being put behind, a lot of healing that is taking place. Conflict into growth and fear into love. I think that's absolutely beautiful. Turn the chaos in your mind, right? Turn that into an organized situation, because I do think the chaos in your mind, the clutter in your mind leads to the chaos in your life. I think also this full moon, a bit of spring cleaning, getting organized, sorting your cupboard out, clearing some space, making space for new stuff, decluttering your mind, detox, maybe fast on that day also, probably a good idea, and get inspired, I think, by going into nature, and get motivated by creating mood boards and putting them up somewhere so that you can see them, so that you are affirming yourself constantly with where it is that you're trying to go and what it is you're trying to create in your life. I am really looking forward to this full moon. There's a lot of control that's involved in this energy, but I think really try and avoid it. It's definitely a full moon of facts and not emotions. But we're in an emotional sign like Pisces, so go with the flow, okay? Thank you for joining me to book a reading. Visit Rubyreadstarot.com. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe, and share with your friends too. Leave me a comment. I love it when you do that. Take care, guys.